Hello and welcome to what's new in Microsoft 365 and Copilot. In this episode, we're looking back at July 2025. I'm Mark Thompson from Super Simple 365. You can search Super Simple 365 across most of the socials for different ways to keep up with the content that I share. Now, updates for Copilot, OneDrive, Outlook, SharePoint, Teams, and a couple from around 365. I can't talk about everything that's on the latest blog because it would take too long, but you can go and have a look at it. You can check it out. Lots more detail. Go and have a look at the link in the video notes, and it'll jump you over to the blog, and there's plenty more content in there for you to read. Let's start with Copilot. Copilot, the chat prompt box is getting a new tools feature. So this is interesting. If we click on this, let's have a look. It includes the researcher agent, which we said was getting added to the Copilot box last month, but I think that's been superseded with this tools feature. Also, analyst, designer, and pages. If you haven't checked out research, by the way, folks, go and check it out. It's an amazing tool, and you can see it working. Definitely worth having a look. Due mid to late August 2025. Copilot Chat will support new file types for grounding. It just means that you can point your Copilot at CAD files, zip files, and interestingly, MP4 files. I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. Does it need a transcript, or can it just use the video file? So I don't know, but I guess we will see late August to mid-September. And as you can see on the screen there's no change to functionality. It's just that you can just look at new file types. Copilot Search will be generally available soon. You may already have access to this, but I'll come back to that. Look here, we can see that I've put in this request. I'm looking for files with info about M365 updates. I don't know the name of the files. I don't know the content. I don't know who edited them. I'm just using Copilot. I'm telling it generally what I want, and it's going off and finding those files for me. So it provides personalized, context-aware answers and traditional type results, but I do really like this bit here, because there's often things that we don't know exists, but we've got access to it. So I think this is going to really open up and supercharge our searching. You may already have access, and if you're not sure, go into the Copilot app and look for this little slider up on the top right hand side, and you can go and try it if you already have it. But if you don't have it, it will be generally available to people mid to late August this year. Okay, so real-time voice conversations with Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, I'm thinking about Copilot at home on my phone. The reason I use that, I know that lots of people prefer ChatGPT at home, but I use Copilot at work, and that's why I use it at home as well to sort of get the most out of it. Anyway, I'm forever clicking on the. I don't like the voice interaction with it. So when I'm going into my keyboard, I'll often speak into my keyboard, and I just find it so much easier and faster. That is coming to Copilot at work. So you can see here we can just we got the option to use our microphone and use voice. You can interrupt it or redirect it at any time. So look out for that voice chat icon in the bottom right hand corner of the input box. And you see on the screen here, we've got the mobile version at the top and the Mac, Windows, and web, Windows and Mac versions at the bottom. Look out for that, folks. I think that's going to be really just make it so much faster to engage with Copilot. Also, if you look after an accessibility or usability or enabled type network, then they might want to know about this as well. I think that's a great accessibility tool as well. But we'll have that from early August, so anytime now. Enhanced Copilot presentation creation quality. This makes me smile because if you've tried to create presentations with Copilot, it gives you a great first pass, doesn't it? But actually, you probably wouldn't use the results. But it's just had a real boost. You wouldn't use the results without putting some extra work into it. Anyway, it's now getting a boost here. Look at this. So you can see here that we've got a presentation here, and it's saying, do you want help customizing the design, adding the speaker notes? So it's been a lot more flexible, right? So improvements to greater depth in content, a narrative flow, the structure, the visual design, it's all getting a boost. So it'll be interesting to see how this works, and it's going to save this presentation to your OneDrive. So be interesting to see whether it is so much better, and what sort of difference it makes. Due mid to late August, and I'm thinking between this improvement that you're seeing here, also thinking about the options to set it up so that it uses your templates from and your branding from SharePoint and images from SharePoint only. You know what? We might be getting to a place, if those two other things are set up as well, where the presentations might be genuinely useful. Okay, so mid to late August. So let's have some quick bite-sized stuff from across Copilot. So Copilot gets better grounding refinements. This has been pushed back for ages, hasn't it? This clock icon tells you it's been pushed back by a period of time. So when we're getting our results, you can see on the left-hand side there, we just have files, but actually it'd be great to narrow it down if we know that we're looking for a Word document or a PowerPoint, and we want to refer to that. It's just going to make it easier, and maybe we'll see when we select PowerPoint, for example, then you'll see more in there. So looking forward to that. I've been pushed back again to mid-August. Standard and priority access to Copilot capabilities. If you are using the free version of Copilot at work, or your colleagues are, worth you being aware of this, because they're going to start throttling the free version based on availability. Maybe worth you having a look at that and looking into it, because your users might start commenting on the availability of some tools, and they won't know that it's Copilot doing it. They might think it's their account or some problem on their machine or something internally to your organization. Definitely worth you checking it out if you in any way look after people using Copilot Chat, the free version, at work. Okay, so Copilot Chat offers a meeting series selection in Context IQ. So Context IQ, you know, when you're doing a search and you do the /, I never know if it's a / or a /, but you do the slash on your keyboard, and then it starts showing up stuff for you to select. You'll soon be able to select a series of meetings. It'd be interesting to see how it can put together the things that were covered over a series and how those meetings have progressed. That might be super useful, actually. Late July, so it should be, if it's not in now, it should be in anytime soon. Copilot Pages, just getting a new extension and a new icon. This has been pushed back, so the icon is going from .loop to .pages, mid-August to early September. Researcher being added to Copilot Notebooks. So Copilot Notebooks are a super useful place to put all your Copilot outputs and other stuff as well. Due late July to late August. I wonder whether actually will Researcher be added the way I've previously said it's going to be added to the chat box, or will it be replaced or superseded with like a tools icon like I've just shown you in the chat a few minutes ago? But we'll see. Anyway, one Researcher in one form or another is coming. Ground your M365 Copilot chats in SharePoint and OneDrive. You can see here that it's just making it a little bit easier to point it at SharePoint and OneDrive. Been pushed back, and now the latest pushback is July to late August. Okay, so this icon here, this telescope, tells you that this is from the 365 roadmap, and the details in here are super sketchy. What is really sketchy is the dates. It's just giving you an idea that something's coming. Anyway, filtering your conversation history. Now you can see your conversation history now, but wouldn't it be great to filter it on certain terms or whatever? It's just making it more useful. So there might be something that you remember from it, and instead of you scrolling, you'll be able to filter it. This is interesting. Say, hey Copilot to activate voice conversations with Microsoft 365 Copilot on Windows. So just told you about the ability to have these conversations with Copilot, and this Hey Copilot will activate that. So I guess your microphone's got to be on all the time. Interesting to see how that comes out, and what you need to have in place. Certainly what organizations think about it, but I'm guessing I'll be telling you more about that next month. An expanded input box coming to Copilot Chat. I can't wait for this. Sometimes the input box is so small, it's really frustrating, isn't it? And it's going to be, I'm not sure it's going to be bigger, or you've got the opportunity to expand it yourself, but due from July 2025. Lists in Context IQ. Remember, that's just when you do the /, it then just shows you the files that you might want to add. Microsoft Lists are getting added to that, due August 2025. Now, quick opportunity to suggest that you buy this slide deck if you in any way look after evergreen or keeping people up to date in your organization. You could spend hours and hours and hours, but maybe 2 or 3 days putting together a presentation like this. But you can buy it if you want to. Nice and simple animations. You can see the things on the screen just come and go. No transitions, so it's easy to cut bits out and cut your videos down if you want to make videos of it. Each slide has got some speaker notes or a link to a page. They make really good speaker notes for you to just show the slide and read it out. You can edit, add or remove content. It's unbranded, so nice and easy for you to use. I'll put a link in the video notes. Now let's get back to it, and we're going to go to OneDrive. First up, just a couple of quick ones. Updated order of shortcut and sync commands. Only a small point, but you or your users might notice it. So you can see on the screen here that the sync has been dropped down, and Microsoft are promoting adding the shortcuts instead. So due late July to mid-August, so not a big change. They're just shuffling around the order just to try to encourage this use of this feature instead. Save an audio overview of Copilot notebooks to OneDrive. So you got your Copilot notebook, I mentioned those earlier. You want to create an audio overview. Where does that go? You can save that to your OneDrive in September. I really like the audio type functionality. I had to read a document yesterday, and it was so boring. But actually, just from an attention point of view, getting stuff read to you, I'm fine. Maybe it's my age, but maybe I find it more and more useful just to hear stuff, especially if it's a bit dull and it's a bit long. Okay, on hold, Microsoft OneDrive will soon get the export to PDF feature. So that's been put on hold, and a date is to be confirmed. So I wonder whether, actually, because of thinking about their relationship with Adobe at the moment, I wonder whether Adobe have said, this is treading our toes a little bit. Maybe you shouldn't be releasing this. I'm totally making that up, and I don't know if that's true, but that's the first thing that came into my head when I saw this. It was like, well, maybe this treads on the toes of their relationship with Adobe a little bit, and someone's had a word behind the scenes. Might be completely wrong, and this will come back in a couple of months, but we'll see. We'll see if it comes back. I'll tell you all about it. Okay, let's have a look at Outlook. So, Copilot Chat just summarise emails for unlicensed users. Now, I've been saying for a while, I'm not the only person saying this, lots of people do, that quite possibly Microsoft will end up just including Copilot, not Copilot Chat, the free version that's grounded on the internet, but Copilot's grounded in your tenant, including a version of that with M365. I think since Google started doing that with their workplace offering, I think it might start making sense. Anyway, this is creeping in. Like every month now, I'm telling you, but maybe 2 or 3 months now, that Copilot in some form is being added to products for users who aren't licensed. And here's another example. So they're introducing a new way to summarize email threads in Outlook using Copilot Chat, but it's in Copilot Chat, and it also includes people without a Copilot license. Going to Classic and new Outlook for Windows. I'm surprised they're still putting. I think they're putting the effort into Classic Outlook. I know it's going to be around for a little bit while longer, but I think it's just to try and get Copilot users as well. That's why they spend the time to do it to both. But anyway, so I think it's super interesting. I think it's going to be here. I've not seen any visuals for it yet. So I think it might the button, the option, it might be here. So there's a new button coming. So looking forward to seeing that. I also wonder whether it's going to be part of a bigger trend, and whether ultimately Microsoft will just say, organizations, you can just have Copilot, the M365 Copilot, and once grounded inside, because actually that would just raise the price of Microsoft 365. But we'll see. Due mid-August to mid-October. Looking forward to seeing that. Okay, I told you about this maybe last year. Start of the year or last year, I can't remember. Trackable newsletters are coming to New Outlook and web. So create professional and engaging email newsletters. It's a built-in tool. See, look on the left-hand side here. I've just clicked on this icon, and that's when you get access to the ability to create newsletters. You can collaborate with some of your colleagues on them as well, so you don't have to just do them yourself. Maybe you're part of some kind of comms team or you're doing announcements. Now, as an end user, so not a creator, you can discover and subscribe to people's newsletters. Here's the big change. It's now enabled by default. So it had previously, when I talked about this, it would have to be, I think when it was in, it's just been trialed and some people had access to it. The plan was that it had to be turned on for people or the organisation by IT. Now it's going to be enabled by default unless they turn it off. And it's come forward slightly. It's now due mid to late August. My only concern about this is that if anyone can create newsletters, and lots of people try, and keeping up, I know that keeping up regular content has got quite an overhead, and people lose interest quite quickly. I just wonder whether we're in danger of there being a gazillion like newsletters which end up being abandoned, and so people are trying to, when they're subscribing, trying to find a good one that's kept up to date. Might be the problem there. Anyway, enabled by default. No doubt IT can turn it off if they want to. Due mid to late August. So for some of you, I think that's going to be super good news, and it'd be interesting actually to see how that's used in lots of organisations. Some quick ones. Summarize email attachments with Copilot and Classic Outlook. You might be used to this in Outlook Web and New Outlook already, but it just means that I can say I want to summarize a file. Sorry about that screenshot, by the way. And it just means that instead of you opening a file just to go through the presentation, see whether it's for you, maybe you want someone send you a Word document, and you're like, I don't know if I've got time to do this now. How important is it? Summarize the file, and you know whether it needs your attention. So super functionality, but now coming to Classic as well. Create a meeting from an email thread in Copilot in Outlook Mobile. I told you about this last month, didn't I? This looks great, doesn't it? So you've got a thread in Outlook, and you can just very quickly create a meeting so all the content, all the people get invited, the agenda gets created based on the content of all the emails, due late July to August this year. Okay, Copilot Proactive Drafts. So look at this icon here. So this tells you that this is from the roadmap. And like I said, these details are super sketchy, but it's along these lines. So it will prioritize your emails for you, and it will create drafts for you as well without you even asking. And it will suggest that you reply in certain ways. And I wonder whether this might be a super time saver. So remember, in Outlook, you can already go into your Outlook settings, go into Copilot, and you can tell it, so think about New Outlook and Outlook Web, and you can tell it how you want your emails answered, the tone, how you want it to start them, how you want it to sign it off. Go and check that out if you haven't already. So you can tell it all your rules for replying to emails, and now it can create, or will be able to create, proactive drafts. That might be a super bit of functionality. Due September, but like I say, that could easily slip further back. Let's see what's going on in SharePoint. So sharing videos on SharePoint pages has been updated. So this is one for the page editors and publishers. New process for adding. So you add a video, and what this is meant to prevent is when you add a video to a page, and your page, it lives in a certain area, and people have got certain access to it, maybe everyone or some people, but a video lives somewhere else. And the people who are looking at this page and access to this don't have access to where the video lives, right? So it's a bit of a pain. So instead of you just adding it and causing this problem, it will suggest you want to create a sharing link, right? So you can read on the screen now. It just means that people have got access to it, and you'll get either that or this and it said you get one or the other or both. Off the top of my head, I don't know when. I don't know when. Why you would see one or the other. They both seem like good options to lots of situations to me. But anyway, so do you want to copy a video here instead? So look out for that, folks. Just a quick tweak when you're creating pages and adding videos, and we'll just stop the hiccup of people not being able to access it. Due any time now, mid-July to early August. Couple of quick ones. So this SharePoint web part for FAQs, created, powered by M365 Copilot. So only the creator needs the license, not the users. I told you about this in the past. So actually that was due late July. It got pushed back. I've included it just to say that it should be available to you now. Page analytics on SharePoint. These new updates, they've been pushed back mid-August to mid-September. Looks great, but you just needed a certain license for that, a certain Viva licenses. And have a look at the blog if that's of interest to you. Looks like a great update, and I reckon if you are responsible for pages and engagement, then this will be of real interest to you. Sections with Copilot. So you want to create an entire section, so you're editing your page and you add a new section to your page. You can get the ability to create that content with Copilot. So this is just recently announced. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I'll tell you all about it soon. Looks really interesting. Due in August apparently. Okay, so let's go through Microsoft Teams. So Teams is introducing a redesigned workflows experience. So workflows are these little automations which are apparently end user friendly, but obviously not user friendly enough because it's getting an update. I think I'm going to go through this in a second. I think this might be worth you revisiting workflows and what they can do. And if you're responsible for M365 updates or education for your colleagues, it might be worth you doing a little session on workflows, assuming you can use Power Automate where you work. Definitely worth you spending some time looking at this as individually, or maybe putting something together for your colleagues. So a new version of workflows. It aims to deliver faster, more intuitive and a streamlined interface. And if you look at this now, you know what I should have done? I should have included the old interface. That is definitely nicer and cleaner. And it just, you look at it and it definitely looks like you could just get started. The templates are there, you can build from scratch. It does genuinely look better. So we've clicked on workflows. Let me just go back one actually. So we've searched for, clicked on workflows here, and this is where we see this new homepage. It does look nicer. And then we've clicked on the templates icon at the top, tab at the top, and then we've got a much nicer experience just for getting started. It gives you some ideas. If nothing else, the templates give you an idea about what it can do. They hope that you can create powerful automations in 3 steps or less or fewer. So we'll see. Go check it out, folks, and share that if that's of interest to you. But from October, but you can still go and check it out now and just get your head around workflows. New filters and sorting for Teams meeting attendance reports. I'd be interested in who would use this or why. So if this is of interest to you, maybe just reply in the comments. I'm not just trying to create engagement. I genuinely don't know why you would use this. New filtering and sorting capabilities to find reports faster. So you can see here that we've got a series of town halls, and I want to filter these meetings by, in this case, the number of attendees. And then I want to I get the filtering on dates and times is more effective. That's cool, but I'm not sure about the filtering on certain a minimum number of attendees. If that's of interest to you, let me know. But that's due. They're very specific about this. It's due on the 31st of August, apparently. So hopefully useful. Intelligent recap in Teams to include supporting screenshots. I really like this. You've been on a meeting and you've seen some slides and we've talked about some stuff. This is, for the visual amongst us, this is just going to really help you record the content. It's going to help you hook it up in your mind. So instead of just seeing the meeting notes, you can see on the screen here that it will show me what I was looking at the time that was being discussed. I can't wait for this. Super useful. Apparently creates a more complete visual recap. That looks about right. Okay, what I'm interested though is that Teams Premium has got this intelligent recap, but the announcement only mentions the visual part of it for people with a Copilot license. So I don't know whether you're going to get this if you've got Teams Premium, or the visual bit of it, because of course the AI summary is for both, but the visual part is just a Copilot add-on. I kind of hope not, because when people say to you, oh, when do I get this? When can I have that feature? When does this show? It's getting more and more fragmented, isn't it? Like trying to think, oh, okay, well, you get this feature if you've got Copilot, or you can get it if you've got Teams Premium. But this little bit of the feature only comes for if you've got, just splits it up, doesn't it? So I hope that they just bundle this in with both. Mid to late September, that's when we'll find out, I guess. A new meeting join bar will remind you that your meeting has started. So on a previous government client, I'm thinking about one person in particular whose name begins with the letter V. Looking at their calendar, they would have cause to accept or tentative multiple meetings, and then depending on what they're doing on a day, what their priority was, they'd go into that one. Now, when you've RSVP'd yes or tentative, you're going to get this pops up, and it will say, okay, you've got all these meetings coming up next. You can either drop into the chat and say, I can't make this one, I'm going to be late, I'm on my way, or whatever. So you can engage super quickly, or from this pop-up, you can choose the one that you want to join. For some people, I can think of a few people actually I know who have multiple meetings at the same time. They can quickly dive into the one that is right at that moment. So instead of having to go into your calendar, pops up, I'm coming, I'm not coming, I can't make this one. Or you click join. This looks great. Look at your settings, and you'll see the show meeting join bar, and you should already have that actually. Customize your team's experience with accent colors. I quite like this. I'm quite a visual person, and actually, why not make Teams just a little bit nicer to look at? So I checked before the session, before this recording, and I don't have this yet in my settings. So the accent color. Let's have a look here. So you can just see like all the little bits. So like I've got like pink here and pink or cayenne or whatever that's called, and it just makes it a bit more me. So it's purely cosmetic and doesn't change any functionality. Go into click three little dots for your settings, go to appearance, and then you can choose your color. That's why I don't have it, because it's not due till September. Actually, the reason I checked is I have early access to some features, and I just wanted to see whether it was there. But early to late September. New option to pin the Teams app bar. This is available to you now. So when you resize your window, your Teams window, the app bar down the left hand side disappears, doesn't it? Okay, and then what you'll see is you've got this little hamburger menu, and when you click on it, you have you can bring it back. Now, if you right click on it, then you can say that you want it visible for most window sizes, so it'll almost always be there. So if you find yourself squishing, you're resizing your Teams all the time, but then you lose the bar and you hover over it, or you go over that menu, you can right click on that little menu and you can make it be there all the time. So look at the left hand side of the screen. That's the app bar that I'm talking about. Due late July, so that for me it's definitely in. Go and check it out. You should have that as well. New compact notification size from Microsoft Teams. First of all, just a reminder that you can move your your pop-ups around. You can have them in different locations around the screen. I've clicked on the three little dots just there. Click on notification activity, and this new option here is the comfy or compact. So let's have a look at this. Let's just off by default. So it just means that it's not going to change. It is available though. Look at this. I'm clicking between the two. You can just see they look a little bit smaller on the screen. Also, I noticed another option here on my screen. It might be early access, but for whenever you get a notification, for it to flash the toolbar. So look out for that as well. Maybe I'll tell you about that next month. Folks, that's available to you now. Couple of bite-sized things. Teams is getting a network strength indicator. This has been pushed back a few times, hasn't it? I'm not sure what their trouble with this is. But you know, you've been on a meeting and and the speaker's getting a bit glitchy, and is it them? Is it me? I don't want to ask, just in case it's only me. Anyway, you'll be able to see by looking at the network strength indicator who's the problem, whether it's you or them. Push back again, October to November. I don't know why that is. Meeting audio overview will create a summary of multiple Teams meetings. So I've told you about this in the past. It looks great. Due mid to late September. The only reason I'm showing this image here is because it's a little bit buried behind the Meet app. So to look at this, you need to go into Teams, look for the Meet app, and it's going to be part of there if you're a Copilot license holder. Push back to mid to late September. File summary for Teams. File summary in Microsoft Teams chat. So I'll tell you about this as well. So a bit like what I showed you in Outlook. So it will summarize files for you without you having to look at them. So just in Teams chat, just another little time-saving thing, push back to mid-August to early September, and the ability to create and add custom dictionaries. Now, this is an organizational thing, really, but it just means that if you work in an org with lots of acronyms or abbreviations, or very specialized things for where you work, someone can now upload that. Someone in IT can upload that in the admin center, and it will just make your narrations of your meetings a little bit better, but also Copilot will use that as well. That last one was difficult. That should be available to your organization now. Searching for meetings. So just in the search bar at the top, the ability just to search for meetings rather than having to go into your calendar and search, you can do it right from the bar at the top, and you're going to be able to interact with the results as well. Early doors for that, remember that's a telescope icon. Further out, I'll probably be telling you about that next month. Share meeting recap to SharePoint. So you've got a meeting recap from your meeting. Push that straight into SharePoint. So the minutes and the updates from a meeting. It might be that somehow you publish to SharePoint the findings or the outcomes of meetings. You can publish that to SharePoint. SQL commands in the search bar in Teams. So if you know SQL, it just makes it. I don't know SQL. I used to many years ago do some stuff with SQL. I couldn't do anything with it now, but you just got a couple of just operators with the little colon and then what you want. If you're an SQL person, try that out from August, but we'll see. I'll probably tell you a bit more about that next month. Okay, so we're getting close to wrapping up. What's happening around 365? The research agent is coming to Word. I can't be honest, right? I'm kind of wondering whether this is going to get replaced with the tools icon that I showed you earlier. That's coming to regular Copilot chat box. But let's talk about it. Okay, so it's for complex multi-step research across work and web data. And in Word, it's this little icon here is going to appear. Now, if you haven't tried Research yet, I know I told you earlier to try it. Just go to the Copilot app and go and look at it over on the left-hand side, okay, and check it out. A Copilot license is required for this, mid-July to mid-August, so anytime now. But I do wonder whether it's going to get superseded and get bundled into the tools icon instead, but we'll see. A couple of quick ones. Copilot in Edge, a new contextual features in 365 Copilot Business Chat. In the Work tab, so you're in Work and you're looking at stuff in the browser. So it's going to be able to do more stuff with what's on the screen. Push back to early August, but look out for that, folks. It's just getting a little bit smarter in the browser. Chat coming to M365 apps for users without a Copilot license. Touched on this earlier, right? So this was for PowerPoint, Word, and Excel, wasn't it? So the Copilot chat is going to do more with those apps, even though you don't have a Copilot license. But that's been pushed back. The window's been changed, actually. The start date was still back in June, but it's been pushed back to September. So really looking forward to seeing how useful that is and how it interacts with the content on your documents. Okay, so Edge summarization, translation, citation will soon all be supported by Microsoft Copilot. So the ability to highlight stuff on your screen and do all that stuff with it. Another one from the 365 roadmap. Hardly any details, a little bit, barely more than what I've just said. I'll be telling you more about that next month, I hope. But they've penciled it in August for that, and I guess that's not going to happen. But I'll say more about it next month. Okay, so what else? External notebook links to be blocked. Let me try that again. External workbook links to be blocked file types. External workbook links to blocked file types will be disabled by default. Too early to early October to late July 2026. So a great big window. I should just stop the recording and start this again, shouldn't I? But I guess it's just real, isn't it, when I leave it in. Go check that out if that's of interest to you. So we're talking about Excel here. Over on the blog, scroll down to the bottom and you can read a little bit more about this. Okay, let's see if I can get through this one. Use Copilot in Word to fix all spelling and grammar. So just the ability for just to highlight everything that's on your page, all the little suggestions, and just tell it to fix everything. Mid-May to mid-August. And PowerPoint, the deprecation of the reuse slides button on the ribbon. So that feature is going. And it seems Microsoft aren't messing about, are they, with these old features that people aren't using. People don't use it, they're getting rid of them. And I guess it means that they don't have to keep looking after them, maintaining them if they're not used. So that's going. Okay, so folks, that brings us to the end of this month's session. Hopefully you found that helpful. If anything caught your eye, you want to know more, look at the notes for the video, and then you can go and read more about it over on the blog. You can subscribe on most of the common socials to get more up-to-date updates. So rather than leaving it to the end of the month. So LinkedIn, for example, or X or Blue Sky. I have regular updates throughout the month as they come out. Or go to the website and then look at the memberships, and then you get all this stuff sent straight to your inbox if you prefer. But we're done, folks. Hope that was helpful. I'll see you next month.